Usually when I talk about non-Tesla EVs on this channel, I compare them to my car and oftentimes they fall short. Tesla is still the EV king in a lot of ways, and not many companies can even compete with them on a single spec. But then came the Lucid Air, and I got really excited watching the reveal and doing some research and seeing all the specs of their new vehicle, because I do think they can be a true competitor to Tesla. And there's three key categories here that I looked at comparing Lucid to Tesla that could allow them to truly compete with Tesla or ultimately make them a failure. And those are range, charging, and price. For range, Lucid has a rated range of 517 miles using a 113 kilowatt hour battery, which means they beat Tesla on pure range but also efficiency. The long range Model S has a rated range of 402 miles, so the Lucid Air beats it there. And the most efficient Tesla, the long range rear wheel drive Model 3, had a rated range of 325 miles with a 75 kilowatt hour battery. That works out to about 4.33 miles per kilowatt hour, while the Lucid Air will have an efficiency of 4.58 miles per kilowatt hour. This means the Lucid Air can travel more miles per kilowatt hour while also using less energy than the most efficient Tesla to travel the same distance. And this is likely achieved by their motor, which is very efficient. They talked a lot about it in their reveal, how they were able to make it very compact and lightweight. And they've also made the Lucid Air very aerodynamic. It actually beats the Model 3 in drag coefficient. The Lucid Air has a drag coefficient of 0.21 versus 0.23 in the Model 3. And this is all great news for Lucid. All of these numbers make it the longest range EV on the market while also being the most efficient EV on the market, something we haven't seen any company be able to tackle Tesla in. And these are EPA rated, which means they were tested by the EPA the same way that they tested all of Tesla's vehicles. But that extra efficiency and range does come at a cost, which we'll get to in a little bit. And charging is where things get interesting. Lucid, like a lot of new EV manufacturers and even some established car manufacturers, are partnering with Electrify America and are offering customers 3 years of free charging. And that even includes access to their 350 kilowatt charging stations, which are the fastest on the market right now, although Lucid has said that their peak charging rates will be at 300 kilowatts, so they won't be able to take full advantage of those charging speeds. But that still does beat Tesla. The V3 superchargers that we saw released last year and have continued to roll out across the country can do up to 250 kilowatts, which is about 1,000 miles per hour rate of charge, while the Lucid Air will be able to do about 1,200 miles per hour. Interestingly enough, the Lucid Air can also charge faster at AC charging stations. They're using a 19.2 kilowatt onboard charger, while Tesla vehicles only use an 11.5 kilowatt onboard charger. They also confirmed that they're going to be using the CCS adapter on their vehicles, which means they'll have access to basically every charger in the United States that isn't Tesla. But because Lucid is using Electrify America, they are kind of at their mercy in terms of where these chargers are available and even the charging technology advancements. Tesla still has a significant lead in the fast charging space in the United States. They have over 17,000 chargers installed right now, while Electrify America has around 2,000. So even though Lucid might be able to charge faster, that charging really doesn't help if you can't find a fast charger to use. If we move on to price, I think this is really where Lucid's whole appeal does kind of start to fall apart. Unfortunately, a lot of EV startups are trying to do what Tesla did when they started. Start with an expensive, high-performance, luxury EV and slowly move into cheaper alternatives as time goes on. That might have been okay 10 years ago when lithium-ion battery prices were really expensive and EV technology was very new and expensive, but now is the time for EV startups to start creating an affordable EV if they want to survive the next decade. So Lucid is releasing 4 trims of their Air vehicle, the Lucid Air Dream Edition, which is kind of their flagship. It has a 503 mile range and starts at $169,000. The Lucid Air Grand Touring, which has a 517 mile range, their longest range car, and starts at $139,000. The Lucid Air Touring, which has a 406 mile range and starts at $95,000. And their cheapest offering, just the regular Lucid Air, they haven't released specs on, but based on those other trims, I'd estimate it has about 350 miles of range, which will start at $80,000. So even the least expensive trim of the Lucid Air starts at $5,000 more than a long-range Model S with 402 miles of range. And I really don't see many Tesla buyers that could buy a long-range Model S right now switching over to Lucid or waiting a couple years for a Lucid Air if they can have a Model S right now with similar performance and range. And after Battery Day, I could definitely see Tesla adding more range to their vehicles and even making their existing vehicles cheaper. That combined with the fact that the $80,000 Lucid Air isn't scheduled to be released until 2022 makes the case for Lucid even tougher. So I'm excited to see where Lucid goes from here. I think they've got a very interesting vehicle here. The fact that they've been able to beat Tesla on range and also efficiency is quite the feat, but I definitely think they're going to need to cut some of those costs if they want to stay competitive in this fast-growing EV market. Thanks for watching this video. If you want me to see more breakdowns like this, kind of comparing other companies to Tesla, or just speaking about other EV companies, please let me know down in the comments what cars you want me to talk about. And also let me know your thoughts on Lucid as well. I'll catch you guys in the next video.